Francisco 49ers are tied up in second. For the Bengals, by the way, it's the first Super Bowl for them in some 33 years. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations vowing the Security Council will press Russia very hard in a Monday session to discuss the Kremlin's massing of troops near the Ukraine border. White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
Top U.S. military officials say Moscow has amassed ground, naval, and air forces near Ukraine, as well as cyber warfare capabilities. Nevertheless, Pentagon Chief Lloyd Austin says,
conflict is not inevitable. There is still time and space for diplomacy.
He says Russia now has the capability to use these forces against Ukraine, something Joint Chiefs Chairman General Mark Milley warns against.
We strongly encourage Russia to stand down and to pursue a resolution through diplomacy.
Greg Clugston, the White House.
Also at townhall.com, former President Donald Trump says the American people will take back the country in the next two election cycles.
This is the year we're going to take back the House. We're going to take back the Senate. We're going to take back America. And in 2024, we are going to take back that beautiful, beautiful house that happens to be white, that is so magnificent, and that we all love. We are going to take back the White House.
And more on these stories at townhall.com.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about the 100% drug-free Relief Factor. We all deal with aches and pains in our day-to-day lives, and I have had my fair share, including injuries like a detached quad muscle that I can tell you fell into the category of really bad pain. But I've been able to manage the pain by taking Relief Factor. It helps your own body to attack and fight off sources of inflammation, the source of most of our aches and pains, and I've loved it for years now. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it worked for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick starter pack for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com, call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference.
Del Walmsley talks about buying your way back from corporate America through real estate.
A massive change in my life. My personal residence I lived in was a 1-bedroom condo, cost $425 a month. This covered it. My automobile car payment was only $300 and some a month. This covered it. I was buying my way back from corporate America. I could feel it.
Lifestyles Unlimited will teach you how to buy your way back from corporate America. Get in control. Get into our live online free workshop. Register at lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
News stories from around the world and how they affect you all day, every day. Told by the most trusted names in conservative talk. Listen live anytime using our mobile app through TuneIn, iHeart, or Odyssey.com. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Portions of this hour's programming may be pre-recorded. Sweep the League, sponsored by Sweep the League Radio on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
One is a local UTSA legend and former NBA player. Another is a future megastar as a music producer. While one is just a baseline bum who loves to talk about sports. What do all three have in common? Well, nothing. I mean, they all live in San Antonio, I guess. Sweep the League, sponsored by United Collision Care Center, is on the air with Rudy Campos Jr., Derek Gervin, and Shamaya Reed. You have a problem with that? Didn't think so. It's time for Sweep the League.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
Somehow I learned to live.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you listen to Sweep the League Radio.
And I still don't know why I'm alive.
Hitting us with country tonight. I like that. I like that.
You know who that is, Rudy?
Oh, why do you play this with me? Who is it?
I believe it's Trace Atkins, maybe?
Shamar doesn't know.
It sounds like it.
Trace Atkins?
I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me.
I'll believe you. I don't know. I mean, I believe you. It's not Bad Bunny. I don't know who the hell that is, but that's not Bad Bunny. I know that. This is Sweep the League. It's Sunday night. We are live every Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. here at 9:30 a.m. The Answer, United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, What's on Second, and a part of the ASAP Network. Guys, exciting Sunday so far. Bengals win. I mean, I came dressed to impress like Joey B did. Or what is it, Joe Shiesty? Joe Shiesty. I came dressed to impress. I am wearing the championship belt. It is a fantasy football championship, but it is nonetheless a belt, a football belt, because my picks have been on fire every single week. I think I've only lost 2 games in this entire playoff run here.
Big fella, you go rude.
And that is the voice of the man himself, Derek Gervin. Shemaya on the beats. I am not Big Rude anymore. I was Big Rude about 140 pounds ago.
For me, you always be Big Rude. Your big, your stature is big. I don't go by your weight or any of that. You're a big guy to me. You always be.
I'm a very 7 foot, 5'8" type person.
There you go.
They stack. I can't say the word on it, but I just stand on a stack of you know what, and that makes me 7 foot. We have Studio 2 full strength tonight, and he's the only guy that gets his intro music ever. Just let him know who's here. It's Rocky Garza. How in the hell did you get intro music?
You see, I slipped, a 20 under Shemaya every time, so we kind of do a hand deal. So I'll give you the 20 after this, Shemaya. My bad.
I hear you on that. All right, we got comments already. We're gonna get in it. Josh Miller says, Beetlejuice. I am going to say it's showtime. It's showtime right now. Who let Rudy walk out the house like that? I'm not gonna say who. I just say nobody was home when I left dressed like this. We are launching TikTok. Go follow Sweep the League Radio on TikTok. We need to get 1 million followers because we want to get paid. I'm doing crazy stuff like that. Apparently, Derek Gervin is going to be in a Beetlejuice outfit sometime soon.
So who do they think you look like? Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson and Batman.
Ooh. Well, they're saying that's Michael Keaton that played Beetlejuice.
Oh, Michael Keaton in Beetlejuice, yes. So who are you, man? I don't know. That's man.
I can probably pull off.
I like the outfit though.
You do? You like the outfit?
You came outside with that, man. It takes confidence, so I have to respect that.
All right, so well, check this out. I want to get into outfit talk then. When you were playing, you would go into clubs every now and then. Not every day. I'm not letting private life.
I went to the club. Yes.
So would you and I be the talk of the club if I walked in like this? Would the ladies migrate?
I would say yes. To be honest, we would.
Even though they see it's a Beetlejuice,
you go to the club to get attention, right? So you have to do something to make yourself stand out.
Well, I can't dance.
And then you walk in with guys like 6'8", 6'9". So I would say yes. We would probably be.
I'll get lost in the crowd. If I'm with
No. You're gonna stand out. Believe me. So
would they let him in though?
Well,
that's the real question.
That's another story.
Okay.
Do I hear any type of video coming up? Try to go dressed like this to a club to see if they let me in.
Will they let me in? Don't you think women like guys that are different, that go against the grain in a lot of situations?
But dressed up like Beetlejuice?
Man, you're going to the club. There'll be people that'll think they're sharp, but they'll be dressed worse than you.
I'm gonna try that.
Josh wants to tell Rocky to wear smaller shorts.
Can we get? Can they get smaller?
He said, "Need 1 million followers. Tell Rocky to wear smaller shorts."
Well, it works for the women. The women, dress in bikinis and they get 1 million followers. Rock, you willing to? I mean, as it is, you're way above the thigh high there. So I mean, can they get any shorter?
I don't know.
Oh no. This is Sweep the League. We got way off subject here. Early football games. As of right now, what is it? 10-7 49ers and Rams?
Yes sir.
10-7. Niners win. Ravishing Rudy himself goes 2-0 today because I did take the Bengals earlier. Joey B pulling it off. Joe Shiesty, as Rocky is saying. 27-24. Guys, you probably thought it was over at the first quarter, right? Rock saying yes.
No, I didn't. I was telling the game. I was actually over a friend's house, and I was narrating the game when it was 21-3. I said right then that they had to score. I'm telling you the truth, that they had to score or the game was over. So they finally go down and score with about a minute and something left in the first half. Make it in the first quarter, make it 21-10. So then you got a ball game. And I said that changes the outlook on a lot of players because if you look, the players that start celebrating for Kansas City, dancing and all that when it was 21-3. After it was 21-10, you saw everything change. The first pass Mahomes had, it was deflected. And from that point on, the defense dominated, I'd say, from the second quarter on.
Do you feel like they got greedy a little bit if they should have gone for the field goal?
I just
That
think,
is
I
it.
don't know. I just think that the Bengals stuck to their game plan. At no point did they get rattled. Burrow, as we know, got out of a lot of situations where they had sacks, but he got away. And the percentages say usually when you get away and you scramble, something good happens because it gives guys time to get open. So I thought they stuck to the game plan, and I kept telling my friends I believed in Joe Burrow. As you know, I picked Cincinnati as well on Facebook and all that. So I just believed in their. I thought their defense settled in, and I thought they got Mahomes a little rattled, and I think that was the difference in the game.
You know, the part that I saw in that game and the most glaring part was Kansas City not going for that field goal to end the half. They were greedy. They wanted to get the touchdown.
The Tyreek Hill. I was so glad to see them. I know because you should have. They threw the pass a little too soon to the 4 or 5 yard line, right?
Yeah,
I mean the coverage was there though.
They kind of threw it behind him as well.
Yeah,
if you didn't see it. I mean, you assume Tyreek gets to that edge, but then they kind of bit themselves in the butt because they had no timeout. So Mahomes did it the first play on the drive. He threw it to the ground. I just feel like they should have gone for that field goal.
That was the biggest play of the half. You keep it at 21-10.
Because if they score, you have the ball going in the second half as well. They still have that momentum, probably score again.
That was the turning point there. That's when I said, agree. You know what? This is going to be a very, very good game come second half. Bengals, they did come back in the first meeting, which was probably a month ago, if not less. I believe it was still 21-3 in that game since I came back.
When we were down 21-3 up, or maybe 21-10, right?
Yeah.
Then we get inside the red zone, and the whole three we went in 4 and out. Maybe we got the field goal, I believe. Why didn't we? Why didn't they not keep incorporating Jamar Chase in the game? And they finally got him in later. But I couldn't understand how you go down there and have 3 shots at it, and you don't have to get the ball. At least try to get the ball to Jamar Chase.
Double team. I mean, they were double teaming Jamar a lot.
This is one game knockout.
They should have involved him because tight end went out.
Yeah, and they would start throwing those direct passes. I mean, he got one knocked down. I mean, finally they finally got wise and started going to the lob instead of trying to throw through guys' hands.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, Cincinnati, they kept Cincinnati in the game. I thought the defense was the difference.
Well, we got more Bengal talk because we're going to get into some Joey B talk. Joe Burrow. Let's just say it's the first time a first pick in an NFL draft has led his team to a Super Bowl in his second season.
Wow.
So that is a massive stat there. More Joe Burrow talk, more Bengal talk, NFL talk, Super Bowl talk, Spurs talk coming up. We've got Spurs fan from Twitter in here. We've got some discussions as far as the DeMar DeRozan return home, Spurs versus Bulls. We got a packed show tonight. I am Beetlejuice, and we'll be back.
Beetlejuice.
United Collision Care Center, official sponsor of Sweep the League, specializes in body paint, frame, and mechanical services from light cosmetic repairs to heavy collision hits, as well as fleet maintenance. All technicians are platinum certified by ICAR, the top training organization in the collision industry. Quality and customer service are what their business ethics are based on. Trust is the hardest thing to build and the easiest thing to lose. So let's build a mutual relationship that starts with trust and a peace of mind. Contact Lewis and his staff today, 210-595-6413, or visit them at 6575 Pratt Road.
Hey guys, you listen to Sweep the League. Hey man, give us a follow on Twitter. We want to hear what your hot takes are today. Hey, follow Rudy at Sweep the League, myself at Rox Jr., Derek at Derek_Dervin, Galler at Official Mr. 300, Stats at Mark TH33MC, and most importantly, our producer at Shemaya on the BT.
Hey, sports fans, trading cards is all the hype and it's absolute fire now. Where do you get the best sports cards in town? What's on Second over on 4177 Nacro Parent Boulevard. Give them a call, 210-590-8444. They have everything you need: sports cards, basketball, baseball, football, Pokemon cards, sports memorabilia, whatever you want, they've got over at What's on Second. And pick up the phone, call us on the Project Spurs hotline, 210-308-8867. You've been listening to Sweep the League on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Don't turn that dial. Hey guys, it's Sweep the League. You've been listening to Sweep the League. Be sure to follow us on all of our Twitters, at Shemaya on the BT, at Sweep the League is myself. Why not go follow Chris Galler at official Mr. 300, or head over to the website, www.sweeptheleague.com. Again, Sweep the League Radio.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
With my head down, the room spinning with my head going round and around and around, so I can't sleep.
This is the song, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I forgot to mention, we've got a local artist spotlight, hour 2, second half of the hour. Joey Boteo. Joey Boteo will be in studio. For all you Joey Boteo fans out there, our local artist spotlight here at Sweep the League Radio will be in the second hour. Sweep the League Radio here at 9:30 a.m. The Answer. United Collision Care Center. Guys, take the stress off your shoulders. Accidents happen. Sometimes they are pretty bad, but you know what? The guys over at United Collision Care Center, Luis and his staff of certified technicians, can get you back on the road in no time. Guaranteed with a smile. They are not satisfied until you are satisfied. Number one customer service in town. That is the best auto shop in town. That is United Collision Care Center. Project Spurs across all social media platforms. Search Project Spurs. Michael and his staff. Speaking of staff, Rock is on staff with Project Spurs. They provide the most accurate, up-to-date information for your San Antonio Spurs and even Austin Spurs prospects. It's been a tough season. They're getting you through the season as well with the prospects, like I mentioned. Follow Project Spurs across all social media platforms. Go listen to Spurscast with Paul Garcia. What's on second? Joey Burrow, his cards, rookie cards. I've heard some are going for $25K now. I've heard some are going for more, for like $75K, whatever. They're going crazy. Go get your Joe Burrow rookie card over at What's on Second, to include the Pokemon craze that's going on right now. What's on Second, the number one choice for all your sports cards and sports memorabilia. Michael DeLeon, the boss, one of our bosses is in here, says Rocky. He's shouting out Rocky. I think he wants the short shorts, Rock.
Maybe, but I have to give a shout out right back on Michael, because I mean, he gave me some great advice recently. I was just going through a little pickle, and this man gave me some great advice about writing, and he gave me a little compliment that gave me a tear to my eye, saying my last recent story about all DeJounte Murray deserving his roses. He said it was probably my greatest piece that he's seen. So I give praise to him, man. Thank you, Michael.
And you can go read Rocky's articles, Project Spurs. Go to the website, read Rocky's articles there. Real quick before we go, ASAP Network, another boss in here, one of our other bosses, Freddie Henderson's up here. What's up, everyone? Much love from the ASAP Network, All Sports, All Play. What's up, guys? You can catch us on ASAP Network as well. They are actually on TV, too. They have Tiki TV, I believe is what it is. Roku channel coming up. You want to Sweep the League on TV? You want to see our ugly mugs? You can catch us on Roku here very, very soon with the ASAP Network. You were telling me something, Derek.
What was I telling
you? You were tired of the GOAT talk because everybody's saying that now with Mahomes being out, no more GOAT talk. Shemaya said that Patrick Mahomes is overpaid. Is everybody just collapsing off of this Mahomes thing?
Well, in my situation, my case, I don't think he's overpaid, but that's Shemaya's opinion. But as far as the game, man, I don't know. The GOAT, that's putting a lot on him, saying he's the GOAT. I mean, he's young. He's only been in the league about 4 years, maybe. Yeah. So I mean, you got to anoint him as the GOAT is putting a lot of pressure on him, and it's not fair to the guys that have done it before him. So I don't really take too much out of that when people talk about it. But to me, he's a great quarterback. But as we know in the playoffs, it's one game knockout. And if the one team comes out and outplays the other, no matter who the quarterback may be, if a defense can stand up for you, you have an opportunity to win no matter who you're playing against.
Exactly. And Shemaiah was literally throwing the finger at us because he was like, Patrick Mahomes is overpaid. We're like, no, he's not. He's not overpaid. He is not overpaid. Shemaiah's like, yes, he is. Shemaiah threatened to cut the show off too. So we're going to have to agree with Shemaiah right now because he says he's overpaid. All right. So if you think Patrick Mahomes is overpaid, call us 210-308-8867. That is the Project Spurs hotline. Shemaiah answers the phone so you can tell him everything you want. All you Mahomes fans out there, contact Shemaiah. Just let him know what you're talking about. You want to come on there, tell us whatever, that's fine as well. Going back to the Bengals, guys. Okay, look, you're talking about two guys that have won the FBS championship and a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow has that same opportunity. Can you guys name the other two?
They won Super Bowl. Say that again.
They've won a
FBS
Super Bowl and an
the Super
FBS
Bowl.
championship. There's only two. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about this. And I'm going to even give y'all a hint. Both guys are named Joe.
Montana.
That's one. Derek, these other clowns won't know it. You do.
You know it, Derek. Come on.
Namath?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Namath.
Namath in
Joe
Montana.
Namath, yeah.
Something about the name Joe works for NFL quarterbacks. Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl champ.
Well, that wouldn't have been my guess. It would have been Namath about 3 times. Even though Flacco had a good year, I won't forget that.
Was Flacco?
Not this year. I mean, he had
Well, no,
he
but-
had a good year in his career.
Was that just a luck year for Flacco?
It seems to be it's something that was luck, but I mean, the guy worked hard for it, so I won't diminish what he did that year. Sometimes you just have that year where everything's clicking, and I think he had one of those years.
It's that
So-
defense too, man. You have to think about it. That defense carried them.
Yeah, I can see that. So Bengals moving on to Super Bowl. Now we still have Niners, we still have Rams playing. Derek is all over the Rams train. I think everybody else is on the Rams train. Rocky hates the Niners for obvious
Oh,
reasons. I mean, they only went into Dallas and just beat the Cowboys like I said they would. I'm the only one taking the Niners. Wait a minute, Shamar, are you taking the Niners or the Rams? You're taking the Rams? Is that a Matthew Stafford thing? Oh, for you, it's Matthew Stafford. All right. So we got the Lions connection there. So we'll leave it at that. I'm the only Niners fan here. Apparently, I'm the only Niners fan. That's the reason why I'm wearing this title here, because I'm the Pick'em King right now here at Sweep the League. Anybody want to challenge me? You can challenge me, but I won't give up this belt. This belt stays with me.
So that means you have to win your game tonight, right?
I have to win. If not,
so
then
if
it's a
not, you
push.
vacate the belt. Yes.
We'll have to do the Super Bowl. We'll vacate the Super Bowl here.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that.
Okay.
But I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose.
So you're saying 49ers tonight.
49ers tonight. Jimmy G is 6-0 against the Rams.
That's probably sometimes that could be a detriment because I don't think they've beaten them twice this year. And you know, when you're playing against a good team, I think the hardest thing to do is beat a team the same year 3 times in football. And so I'm going to say somehow at the end, the Rams pull out this victory.
If everybody else out there thinks the Niners can win, call us 210-308-8867. Let us know on the Project Spurs hotline. I'm taking the Niners. I'm going to say it again. Niners, Bengals, Super Bowl. But let's get to the Bengals here real quick. I want to know Joe Burrow. Everybody saw Tom Brady retiring. Then he came back. What the hell is Brady doing? We don't know. But if you've got one player that you can compare, not to Tom, but I guess career-wise for Burrow, outside of Tom, who do you think it could be? Success in already 2 seasons only. Super Bowl. I like him on the path of a Joe Montana type quarterback. Not very mobile, but is mobile. Tom Brady just really isn't mobile at all. But can he have that career like Tom? Yeah, but I see more of Joe Montana type
A finesse
quarterback.
guy, not the power guy like a Marino throwing the Elway, throwing it in tight windows. I'm not saying he can't do that, but he's not as
Yeah.
physical a player as those guys.
Yeah, you're looking more like Justin Herbert as a Marino type
A guy
player.
that can get out of the pocket. The new era QB, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it today. Displayed it today.
So what are you guys thinking about Burrow? I mean, are you talking like I'm thinking Montana? Is there anybody else that you might? I mean, you can say guys like Namath and Bradshaw and them from back in the day. Like Derek, I know watch them play. I didn't really get to watch Namath and Bradshaw. I'm an old cat, but not a really old cat. Not calling you old. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good,
You're,
man.
you're only 40.
I feel good.
You're only 40, man. I'm 42. You're only 40. But you guys, I mean, seeing Burrow do this in his second season, what's the first guy to come to mind as far as career goes for Burrow?
I would have to agree. Say Brady. You know, you can bring up. No, I was gonna say Manny, but no, Brady. I mean, no one really.
And you said, man, I thought Peyton. I've been thinking all this
Peyton's
time,
probably-
but he
I mean,
doesn't have the zip that
Yeah,
Peyton has on.
I
his
just feel like
passes.
Peyton was more
That
fundamentally
would have
smarter
been that
too.
would have been my pick though.
But I mean, coming into this year, no one saw the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. I mean, Joe Burrow was a hell of a quarterback coming out of college, but no one really saw what they had. I mean,
O-line.
yeah,
That's the reason why.
that was the talk of the draft. O-line, and then everyone criticized him. Why do you draft Jamar Chase when he needs help?
So the question that I pose to you, Cowboy fan, is if O-line seemed to be the problem, why in the hell didn't you win? The Bengals just proved you don't need an O-line.
I think Mark needs to answer that, or Galler.
Are they fuming in there? I think they are fuming in
You
there.
know what's interesting? The Cowboys actually have the #1 rated offensive line in the league.
#1 rated offensive line.
I'm not even joking either.
Yeah.
That makes the collapse even worse.
I'm surprised I don't get a lot of phone calls about hating on the Cowboys. I really am.
Because they know you're going to get it when you get home.
Hey, quick question, everyone. What is the bigger collapse? Packers, Cowboys, or Chiefs in this postseason?
In
this year?
In this postseason.
I thought you were going to put in Atlanta in that
Stop. We don't have to deal with that guy anymore. He's gone. We don't have to deal with the number.
I would have to say the Packers, man. I mean, Packers over the last
Collapse?
decade. Dude, the Packers have Aaron Rodgers, the most talented quarterback arguably in NFL history.
But you're telling me the Bengals are better than the Niners? No.
But he's talking about this postseason.
Yeah.
Like most
Hello,
disappointing.
the Chiefs.
Can I put my own team in there?
Go for it.
The Lions?
Collapse this year in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills?
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah.
That is kind of brutal. I think Derek might.
Would you say Bills and Chiefs though? Like both of those?
I think Kansas City still had a chance to win. If you look at the situation with Buffalo, it's only 13 seconds. And
That's
then
right,
if
you're
you don't make that kick into the end zone and you kick a squibber, we're talking a different game.
That's true.
That's true. I mean, I think everyone assumed that game was going to be close to the end, and it could have gone either way, though. That's the thing with that game, how I see it. But yeah, like 13 seconds left, and you're the #1 defense in the league, and you allow that to happen. Game time field goal. That you can't have that.
I'm just gonna stick with the Packers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is so talented. MVP discussion, #1 seed. It's his last dance. You would think he's going NFC Championship minimum. And boom.
That was bad.
Well, I posed the question to everybody listening out there. What was the biggest collapse in this playoffs? We've got thoughts all over the place here. 210-308-8867. Give us a call here, Sweep the League Radio. Lee, 2 segments already done. We'll be back here in just a minute.
A collapse is a collapse.
Don't let the stress of getting into an accident keep you down. Contact United Collision Care Center, where Lewis and his certified technicians will get you back on the road in no time. They're a 5-star company with over 270 reviews on CarWise.com. Quality and customer service are what separate them from the rest, making them the best. Specializing in body paint, frame, and mechanical services, from light cosmetic repairs to heavy collision hits, United Collision Care Center does it all. Contact them today at 210-595-6413 or visit their shop at 6575 Pratt Road. Again, that's United Collision Care Center, the best in the business and official sponsor of Sweep the League.
Hey guys, you listen to Sweep the League. Hey man, give us a follow on Twitter. We want to hear what your hot takes are today. Hey, follow Rudy at Sweep the League, myself at Rox Jr., Derek at Derek_Dervin, Galler at Official Mr. 300, Stats at Mark TH33MC, and most importantly, our producer at Shemaya on the BT.
Two Shots Podcast is a fun-filled extravaganza bringing you into the world of sports and entertainment. Joe Garcia and the staff keep you updated on Spurs, combat sports, Dallas Cowboys, and my favorite, everything in Nerdville like Marvel and DC. Head to the line for Two Shots, as in Two Shots Podcast, available across all streaming platforms. No sport is bigger than football here in the Lone Star State. High school football is king on Friday nights, so listening to Along the Wire with B. Damone is a must. Brandon brings you all the latest news and notes, as well as rankings for our local high school football teams here in San Antonio. Cue up the band, get comfortable in your bleacher seat, and tune in for the best high school coverage around with Along the Wire.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations vowing the Security Council will press Russia very hard in a Monday session to discuss Moscow's massing of troops near the Ukraine border and continued fears the Kremlin is planning an invasion. Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield says, quote, "Our voices are unified in calling for the Russians to explain themselves." Authorities say Iraqi airstrikes killing at least 9 Islamic State fighters. That move in retaliation for an attack on Army barracks earlier this month. Islamic State gunmen broke into the barracks on January 21st, killed a guard, and then shot 11 soldiers as they slept. For the first time since 1989, Cincinnati Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. This is SRN News.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or if, like a lot of people, you just have a plan you're not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. It's a Christian healthcare sharing program. There are more than 400,000 members now, and they love it. In fact, MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to that of health insurance. And MediShare really is the gold standard when it comes to healthcare sharing. It's been around more than 25 years. Members have shared more than $4 billion of each other's medical bills. Plus, MediShare is for you. It has saved its members billions by advocating on their behalf. Best of all, the typical savings for a family is around $6,000 a year. So if you think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have much to offer, think again. MediShare has a 98% customer satisfaction rating, and you are invited to be part of it. Call now. 844-57-BIBLE. That's 844-57-BIBLE. 844-57-BIBLE.
Hi, friends. This is Katie Pavlich from townhall.com. The liberal media and big tech are working overtime to promote the left's anti-American agenda and silence me and the reporters on our team at Town Hall. We have to bring the truth to the American people, free from the spin of big media and the censorship of those big tech companies. We're constantly covering the news that matters, exposing the COVID lies, the leftist rot and crime surge in our cities, the illegal alien crisis at our southern border, and all of Joe Biden's unconstitutional overreach, including the critical race theory attacks on our children and grandchildren by school boards and the Department of Justice. I hope you'll support our vital team of conservative journalists today. You can do so by going to townhallaction.com. While cancel culture and big tech comes for us, the direct support of our VIP members helps make us uncancelable. Please join our team by becoming a VIP member at townhallaction.com. That's townhallaction.com.
9:30 a.m. The Answer.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Hey, rubber band honeys, this keep on coming. I'm thumb. More like a mummy, the drug got him slumpy.
That Bad Bunny, whatever it is? No? All right. Well, apparently he's coming to San Antonio. And I tweeted out to you guys, who the hell's Bad Bunny? The only Bad Bunny I know is Bugs. That's it. You know who Bad Bunny is, right?
I told you, I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with him.
Apparently he's a wrestler, but we're going to get into that hour 2 because we have bad wrestling, Bad Bunny talk, and bad attitude talk as well. So we got all bad stuff happening in hour 2. Sweep the League Radio, Rudy Campos Jr., Derek Gervin, Shamar on the Beats, Studio 2, and we've got the one, the only, Rocky Garza Jr. All of us are in studio tonight. We also have special musical guest, Joey Boteo, coming in for the second hour, as well as our local artist spotlight. 10-7 Niners, Rams. I'm still winning that. Niners still up, so that's a good thing.
And they just stopped them on 4th and 1, by the way. The Niners did.
Don't you ever interrupt me again.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
ever interrupt me. You cut that mic off. Just playing. That's fine. So they did just stop them. We got a real quick comment in here from Spurs fan, just a Spurs fan off of YouTube. Cowboys collapsed, consider the talent, and basically lost on how many pre-snap penalties. So we're going back to the biggest collapse. They simply cannot win with mental errors. We were talking about biggest collapse this year in the playoffs. It's kind of up for debate right now. Real quick, United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, What's on Second, ASAP Sports Network. Thank you all you guys for sponsoring us here at 9:30 a.m. The Answer, Sweep the League Radio. Real quick, before we get to our phone call here, we have Jeffrey on the phone. But before we get to him, are we still debating on the collapse?
Well,
Because
the person that just called made a good point with the. I don't think it was the biggest collapse, but when you look at 14 penalties for 89 yards, I believe it was. I mean,
yeah,
that was a major factor. So I would call that a collapse. I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's definitely that's a major collapse.
I still see the Chiefs today as the biggest collapse, only because of the way the Bengals are not better than the Niners. So, well, how is that wrong though?
Are they better than the Chiefs?
Obviously, they beat them twice. They came back twice to beat them.
Well, I mean,
But it's if you put them side by side, Niners on paper are better than
on
the
paper.
Bengals.
But okay, then what about your X factor, Jimmy G and Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow smoked him by a mile.
True. See, this is the reason why we debate this kind of stuff. I like that. Okay, so then I guess you can consider. Then you go back. Is it Niners Cowboys collapse, or that was more mental?
It was such a weekend, man. I mean, it was unbelievable. Every game, if you look at it, they were collapses, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
The magnitude of all of them were very high. So it's hard. It's going to always be debatable because, it's hard to pick. They were total collapses.
All right, we're going to get to our phone call right now. We've actually got Jeffrey on the line. Jeffrey, thank you for calling Sweep the League Radio on the Project Spurs hotline. How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
Doing good. What do you got for us, brother?
Well, excuse me 1 second. I'm in the bathroom. I got to finish taking a Mike McCarthy.
Hey, man, no worries, man. No worries. We'll take phone calls from anywhere. Just if you're going to flush the toilet, make sure to flush it loud and clear for us to hear it. That would be the Cowboys season going down the drain right there.
That's cool, man.
Do we have him? Is he still there, though? He's still there?
Hello?
Okay, all right. I think he flushed it on the mute button. What's going on, Jeffrey?
Oh, man. So you were talking about the biggest collapse, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the Cowboys. Because it's like, as far as heading into the season, Dak was hurt. Everybody knew that. But we all knew that they had weapons, right? We go into the season. Dak is healthy. Weapons are healthy. I mean, the offensive line was they were, for the most part of the season, they were healthy. But Tyron Smith, he's getting older. But anyways, their defense started going crazy. All right? So you pair that. Now they're, top 10 defense, top 5 defense to their amazing offense already? And you tell me you lose in the first round? Come on now.
Yeah.
This don't make it sense. I don't understand.
Yeah, we got it, man. Had to cut you off right there, brother. Appreciate the phone call. Yeah, I mean, it is a mental collapse. 210-308-8867. That's the first time in my radio career we've had to use the dump button.
I feel your pain, Jeffrey.
Yeah, we do feel your pain, Jeff. Appreciate the phone call there. But we also have another comment here on YouTube. Spurs fan says, you never give yourself a chance to see how good your team can be when your team kills itself with so many penalties. It's all coming back to Cowboys. I mean, I guess now the Cowboy collapse is the biggest one. Jeffrey was right.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy team going into the playoffs. You had the momentum. I mean, I guess the collapse is true. Cowboy fan?
All the collapses, if you look at the mental aspect of the game, right? The Cowboys with all those penalties, that will played a major factor in losing, right? And the little things is what usually beat you. All the teams that were doing so well at the beginning, they had mental breakdowns, and they all paid for it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I guess we'll go back to Cowboy talk. Having the biggest collapse, I guess, of the postseason so far.
We'll go Cowboys.
I just feel like it goes on personnel. I mean, Jeffrey's right. They had a healthy team going in, but it's just on personnel, and then it's on Dak. The defense did everything they could to keep him in the game, but when it comes down to the line, you need your quarterback to step up. You know, whether Kellen Moore calls a different play calling, whether, the coaching gets on Dak for what he's doing, but Dak just sometimes looks lost out there, and you don't know whether it's still that injury or it's related, but you had times in the game where he could have used his legs, and he didn't.
Did you guys have Dallas to win the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay, so This is why I say the team for me was the Bills. As you know, I picked the Bills and the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. So to be in a state of euphoria right here in this chair, And then to see us go up 36-33 with 13 seconds left, a team that I've already said is going to win the Super Bowl. And that, to me, that's a collapse. 13 seconds. You only have 1 or 2 plays from moving on.
I get that, and I think you're right in that regard with that. Like you're the number 1 ranked defense in the league, and you allow a game-tying field goal with 13 seconds. It's really bad. But the reason why I think I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one is because all of those self-inflicted wounds throughout the entirety of the game, and they only lost by 6 points. All they had to do was cut those penalties in half, cut those awful plays, just undisciplined. And it comes from the leadership. And all they had to do was play somewhat better, and they could have escaped that game.
Not to mention one of the penalties was on a 3rd and whatever, and they stopped them. And then that gave them the first down.
Yeah, it was almost like an accidental, like self-sabotage. They did everything on the offensive end wrong to hurt themselves.
So what can you do in 13 seconds?
That's Mahomes.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean, because there's some stuff you can do in 13 seconds.
That's for the Rated R podcast.
Right, Galler? You know.
That's for the Rated R podcast.
13 seconds. You're right. That's. And how many yards did they go?
120, 100 and I don't know. Romo said it today.
To get in field goal
to get in field goal range. What was their yardage?
Wasn't it like 30-some, 40-some yards quickly on 2 passes?
It's interesting because Mahomes
and 2 people that you know they're going to be targeting to go throw the ball to, Kelsey and Hill. The reason they lost today, because that was taken away, a big fact, not the reason, but a big factor.
Yeah. I mean, that can also play into why you would think the Chiefs had a bigger collapse too, because, okay, so you come back against the Bills, 13 seconds, game time field goal, get it done in overtime. And then today you just completely collapse in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you've got fans in here just really saying that, the penalties, it's all penalties, it's not, I've even seen people saying, no, it's not Dak's fault. I mean, I get that if the play call is a, quarterback draw.
Is that out of character for the Cowboys?
What, the quarterback draw?
No, all the penalties.
They don't have that many.
That many?
No, but I'm saying boneheaded plays year after year.
I would say yes.
We've been in the Jason Garrett era, 8-8 for years. Like, I mean, come on. So it's not like it was all of a sudden people weren't, even the fans weren't giving them the championship. So it still was doubt. That's why I don't think it's the biggest collapse. But I can understand everywhere everyone else is going.
Niners.
Yeah, I just saw touchdown Niners.
Yeah, and I agree with Spurs and what he's saying. A lot of drives were killed with penalties. You had CeeDee Lamb get a 31-yard catch at the first half, negated by penalty. Yeah. But at the end of the day, and then I agree with Joe. Dak and Zeke are overrated to a certain extent, though. They're those are 2 players that you can win a Super Bowl. That can go. You can put pieces around personnel around a Super Bowl and go. You can't tell me with a straight face Jimmy G is better than Dak.
No.
Exactly. And it goes down to personnel. You got to have the personnel to put you in that position. Kyle Shanahan outcoached the team. Dan Quinn was the only coach on that Sunday capable of coaching that day.
So do you think Zeke is overrated now or always has been?
No, Zeke talent-wise, he was one of the top backs. Zeke
2016 when he,
It's just the reality is running backs die down. It's a dying position. And you can't pay running backs as it is. Running backs are replaceable. You saw what the Niners did. They have 3 different running backs. Elijah Mitchell, Cherry Sermon. You have JaMychal Hasty. You just have a bunch of running backs that Kyle Shanahan gets off the streets, and they look like pure top backs.
Yeah, I mean, Eli Mitchell, they drafted in the
Elijah
6th round.
Mitchell, yeah.
You remember who else was drafted in the 6th round? Became a legend? Mr. Brady.
That's right. He's out, Tom Brady. Is he retired? Maybe not. Coming back, Spurs Cheeseman. We get from NFL to NBA. Spurs Cheeseman, Bulls Spurs. We'll be back. All you music heads out there, from punk to metal to indie, the Chuck Van Show plays the best in real local music from San Antonio and around Texas. Real new music you're not hearing anywhere else. Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on modsnapradio.com. It's the Chuck Vance Show.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Mark the MC, and you are listening to Sweep the League Radio. Before we get back to the show, here's a message from I Am Refocused.
I'm focused, man. Focused.
IamRefocusedRadio.com are proud friends of Sweep the League Radio. With new interviews each week, we are looking for special guests. Do you have a story? Are you an athlete, music artist, business owner? Visit IamRefocusedRadio.com today and send us a message. Now, back to Sweep the League Radio.
Spurs season isn't just 82 games, but year-round. That's why you need to make sure you have the best coverage around at all times. Project Spurs provides you with the most in-depth Spurs coverage all day, every day. Articles, analysis, and live game coverage provided by some of the best journalists in the business. Need more? Listen to the Spurs Cast with Paul Garcia for even more Spurs-related news and notes. Visit ProjectSpurs.com for all the latest Spurs information, or follow them on social media. Twitter is at Project Spurs, or just search for Project Spurs on Facebook and Instagram. Project Spurs, dominating Spurs coverage and proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Hey guys, you listen to Sweep the League. Hey man, give us a follow on Twitter. We want to hear what your hot takes are today. Hey, follow Rudy at Sweep the League, myself at Rox Jr., Derek at Derek_Dervin, Galler at Official Mr. 300, Stats at Mark TH33MC, and most importantly, our producer at Shemaya on the BT.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Okay. I like it. It's real smooth. Real good. I feel like Derek liked it, a little tone.
Yeah, that was smooth. Really nice.
Heck yeah. Hey guys, just as a reminder, we're sponsored by What's on Second, ASAP Network, Project Spurs, and United Collision Care Center. But of course, we're ready for the favorite segment that everyone loves. You ready, Shemaya?
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs chisme. Dime, por favor.
So I may sound like a broken record, but it's been Spurs trade talk as a chisme all season, and it's still not dying down. So latest reports have shown that Hawks have showed interest in Derek White. So my question of the chisme to y'all is: there was a report saying the Hawks would be willing to deal John Collins, for a starting caliber player and a first-round pick. If you're the Spurs, do you pull off that move, sending Derek White and a future first-round pick, maybe a 2025 pick, to get John Collins to solve your floor, or you just ride it out? Or I just want to get y'all's opinion of what would be better for the Spurs, or do you just go to the draft and say you draft up on Banchero?
Real quick, Spurs are beating the Suns 37-31. FYI, it's early. But going back to that, seeing Derek White, it's so tough. I mean, he's struggling from three right now. He's not having, a typical Derek White year. But to say that you could possibly get a guy like John Collins for Derek, that is so tough, man. I'm looking at you, Derek, because Collins is a great piece to have, but doesn't that affect Jakob?
I would say so. I don't know if bringing in Collins changes the landscape of the Spurs this year, to be honest.
Doesn't make them instant playoff team.
Right, and that's the thing. So to me, Derek White has played well the last month, maybe. I think he's picked up he's elevated his game. He's had some really good games, some outstanding games, actually. Mm-hmm. And as we know, it was either him or DeJounte. Now they've kind of been putting it together, which I think is a good thing. I don't know if I could see a Derek White trade, but for John Collins, I don't know how that really makes us better with the big guys that we already have.
It's tough to think about that. I like Collins' athleticism. He's definitely a player that can develop into a great player for the Spurs. Is it instant wins? That's the question that, in other words, is he going to, like I said, catapult you to the playoffs? Probably not. I don't think so. I think you're less stronger at the guard position. But then you also have guys saying, well, we have Primo.
Mm-hmm. You have a guy that'll have some highlight reel plays on alley-oops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If John Collins. But as far as just making your team better, as you head down the stretch and start talking about playoffs, I think that's not. I think that's a stretch. I like John Collins, but the way the team is currently constructed, I don't see him making them a whole lot better.
Yeah, and then you referenced Jakob earlier. Do you feel, with his name and trade talks as well, do you feel it'd be smart for the Spurs to get the most out of they can get for his value, just to get all that compensation back and move on, possibly go to another center, maybe draft a Chet Holmgren as a future center, or do you want to keep Jakob as the future?
Man, I like Jakob, but no, nothing's off the table, I would think, for the Spurs right now. If they can get some value, maybe a couple players, maybe draft picks, I'm not sure, but I think Jakob right now, his value is very high. And you know how this league goes. When a guy's value is high, and nothing's off the table.
Yeah.
So if you make the offers and the team makes the right offer, the Spurs would definitely have to consider it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So we've got Spurs fan in here on YouTube. He's saying Derek and DeJounte are like peanut butter and jelly. Derek is unselfish and makes room for DeJounte to be a star. That's man, Derek, you're probably gonna disagree with me big time here, but I don't like the backcourt of Derek and DeJounte. To me, they don't mix.
We talked about that several times. They too much the same.
It makes sense in a way, but it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, because Lonnie brings a different element. You really one of those. You one guy too many.
Yeah.
All right. You got to go with the guy you think is going to be healthy. You got to choose between DeJounte and Derek. And then you've got Derek, you got Lonnie, which brings a different element to the game when he comes in, right? A little excitement, high flyer. But to have two guys in the same position right now and that are really, really similar, it's who it reminds me of, but one is left-handed and one is right-handed. But now you can see a little separation, a little difference. De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Having those two in the backcourt in Sacramento, it's kind of similar to me like that.
So, and that's the thing too with Derek and DeJounte. I know a lot of people love to see the backcourt of Derek and DeJounte. It does make some sense, but I still can't buy the fact that they're starting together.
They're not. One of them will have to do something outstanding, right?
Yeah.
Like be a 25-point scorer. I mean, something would have to stand out. We know DeJounte is a triple threat guy, right? But wouldn't you need a guy like a Kyrie, someone that's going to do something that's outstanding to separate those?
There's that Kyrie guy again. I see you mentioned him.
Well, they mentioned a lot of. We need a star.
Hey, but I have to ask real quick. Would you rather, assuming Derek White's probably not in the future plans for the Spurs, he's relatively on the older side. Would you rather move him as high as trade value as you can and focus on a DeJounte Primo backcourt, you think? Because that's going to be presumed the backcourt of the future. Or would you rather just keep Derek and possibly accumulate those wins, develop Primo, and then eventually try to move on for something?
With the Spurs, it looked like we'll have to wait till the trade deadline before we make a decision, right? Because we don't know still all this season. Do we know if the Spurs are ready to, we won't call it tank, but do we know if they're ready to just settle,
wave the white flag
for the Chet Holmgrens and the Pincheiros, or we won't know that until whatever they do around the trade deadline. If they make a significant move, then we know they might think that they have an opportunity to at least qualify for the playoffs this year.
So what is the problem here? Now, you've got Spurs fans. I got to ask you this. And if you want to call 210-308-8867, we have a phone call here. We'll get to in a minute here. Roland, just hang on. But I've got to ask, why do you want a top pick? First off, haven't the Spurs proven that they can draft better later in the draft? I mean, Duncan Robinson and Sean Elliott, those guys are gimmies. Let's be real. They're gimmies. But you have a Lucas Simonik who didn't go quite well. You have a Lonnie Walker who still isn't fitting the mold, but you have more DeJounte, Derek, Keldon, those type players, Devin Vassell, those type players than you have for the ones that aren't panning out. So why is everybody on the we need Chet, we need Paolo? Are these guys going to come in and instantly make you a contender?
You're looking at guys that can be transcendent players is what they're looking at. If I look at Chet Holmgren, Chet has some skills. I mean, he's going to only fill out as he gets to the NBA and learns the game, and he's going to get a lot stronger.
And eats Mexican food.
I'm just thinking about it. If you look at his skill set, I think it's very high. And he has a high basketball IQ. Remember, a lot of things, they held Michael Jordan back in college. So a lot of times in the situation being at Gonzaga, you're not expecting 20 to 25 points from him every night because you have Timmy. So think about that. You got an All-American already.
Yeah.
So, but he'll get a chance to shine in the NBA, I would think. So I would have to entertain bringing in someone like him. He reminds me of a guy that might be a healthier Ralph Sampson. And a lot of people didn't want to give Big Ralph 7-4 a lot of credit, but the guy can run the floor. He can do it all.
I've seen people say he's more like Sean Bradley, which I say
No,
is terrible.
he has
That's
more
terrible.
talent. He has way more talent than
Way
Sean.
more talent. We've got Roland on the phone here. Roland, you got about a minute here, buddy. Thank you for calling Sweep the League. If we need to go to the second hour with you, we will. But what do you got, Roland?
Yes, sir. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Cool. I mean, I'm not a Spurs fan, so sorry about that. I'm a Mavs fan.
No, man.
But,
No worries.
But I'm just calling in. I had a question. I know with the crazy AFC game that we saw, between Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. I just had a question for y'all. If y'all could, give me a quick ranking of AFC quarterbacks, especially since we see the emergence of young guys like Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, those kind of guys. What would you say is your top 5 AFC quarterbacks at the moment? I'm a huge Cowboys fan, but seeing the AFC with these crazy young talent, I'm like, dang, where's that for the NFC? You know what I mean?
Yeah, AFC is loaded. Roland, I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and get that AFC ranking for you here when we come back from the commercial break. I appreciate the phone call. We'll get that answer for you. Guaranteed coming back. AFC quarterbacks, crazy. I mean, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to think about that because y'all got to bring it for Roland here, especially if you guys want to wear this belt. I mean, come on. There's only one football guy here, and that'd be this guy right here. Sweep the League Radio coming back after hour 1, hour 2 coming up. You guys ready for hour 2? We've got Joey Boteo. He's in studio. I see him. He's in studio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So we got
17-14.
17-14. All right, there's the update from that guy over there, whoever the hell that was. Locked On Spurs gives you in-depth access to your local San Antonio Spurs team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Jeff Garcia brings you multiple weekly episodes to include the ever so popular fan episode, giving you the fans' perspective. Download all past or present episodes of Locked On Spurs on all streaming platforms. Get locked in today with Locked On Spurs.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
The Profits Podcast dives deep into sports with your hosts, Kevin and Rashad. The guys deliver multiple aspects of all the sports we love, including Kev's reasons as to why you never pay a running back. Always a great time to be had on the Profits Podcast. Don't waste your time trying to predict the future of sports. Allow the real profits to do it for you on the Profits Podcast.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Are you looking for the most in-depth coverage of your Spurs teams? Project Spurs provides news and notes whether it's your San Antonio Spurs or the Austin Spurs. Amazing player analysis, game-by-game coverage, breaking news and articles. Project Spurs will be your first source each time. Also, listen to the Spurs Cast, the first Spurs podcast with Paul Garcia, to give you even more news and notes regarding your hometown Spurs. Michael and his staff make it a mission to provide you with everything you need to make you part of the action. Head over to ProjectSpurs.com or follow them across all social media platforms. Just search Project Spurs, proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Hey guys, you listen to Sweep the League. Hey man, give us a follow on Twitter. We want to hear what your hot takes are today. Hey, follow Rudy at Sweep the League, myself at Rox Jr., Derek at Derek_Dervin, Galler at Official Mr. 300, Stats at Mark TH33MC, and most importantly, our producer at Shemaya on the BT.
Happiness. By every measure, we're less happy now than at any time in our history. The problem is we've confused happiness with comfort. There's a better way to live, the reactionary way. Read about it in Michael Warren Davis's new book, The Reactionary Mind: Why Conservative Isn't Enough. In a world of fake news where politics has become religion, this book shows us how to be reactionaries. Order Michael Warren Davis's new book, The Reactionary Mind: Why Conservative Isn't Enough, from Amazon and wherever books are sold.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Talk to your doctor about creating a plan that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
The world is constantly changing, but your home for San Antonio's most trusted names in conservative talk is still the same. Listen live on Alexa with our mobile app or through TuneIn, iHeart, or Odyssey.com. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Breaking news, stimulating talk. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer, a division of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM. KLUP, Terrell Hills, San Antonio.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. It has not been an easy weekend for thousands of residents in the Northeast. Very rough conditions. A major winter storm blasting the area.
National Weather Service meteorologist Mark Chenard says while the nor'easter hit 11 states, the most persistent band of heavy snow set up from Long Island into eastern Massachusetts.
There were several hours in a row where we were getting 2 to 3 inch an hour snowfall rates, which is pretty impressive.
New Jersey got 21 inches of snow, Connecticut and Maine 22, New York and Rhode Island just under 25, and Massachusetts got almost 31 inches of snow.
30.9 inches is the highest I've seen come in just south of Boston.
Chenard says despite the sun, don't look for the snow to melt away fast, with temperatures remaining below freezing.
By Tuesday, we should start to warm up some. We may be able to get a little bit above freezing.
Then he says there will be a slow warming trend toward midweek. Julie Walker, New York.
Meanwhile, another major winter storm heading south through the Midwest. Also at townhall.com, the House Committee on Oversight and Reform plans to hear from the former Washington football team employees on their misconduct claims against the team. Correspondent Bernie Bennett reports.
In a statement, the committee says its chairs, Representative Raja Krishnamurthy of Illinois and Representative Carolyn Maloney of New York, will hold a hybrid roundtable with the former employees to discuss their workplace misconduct claims and the NFL's failure to take steps to prevent sexual harassment and verbal abuse within the WFT organization under the leadership of owner Dan Schneider. The hybrid roundtable is scheduled to take place just one day after the WFT will unveil its new team moniker, after dropping its previous name, the Washington Redskins, amid allegations of racism against Native Americans. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
When you take the time to really get to know your body, you find that the root causes of its aches and pains are usually simple. The older we get, the more exercise we undertake, and the more injuries we sustain, the more inflammation our bodies suffer from. It's so simple. And my answer to that pain is Relief Factor, which I discovered years ago and take every single day to great effect. It helps the body to fight off inflammation, and I've never found anything that worked better in my life. I can't recommend it enough. 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it works for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference. relieffactor.com.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, host of On the Record with Tiffany. I'm a mom, businesswoman, and healthcare advocate. We provide a space where we discuss business and healthcare transformations and the heroes that fuel both. I'm inviting you to listen in on the conversations with me and my guests that will occur every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
This is Janae Nicole inviting you to join me for Sports by the Numbers Mondays at 8 p.m. right here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer for the most entertaining look at the numbers behind the sports we love to watch. Streaming live on Facebook and Twitter. Download the 9:30 a.m. The Answer app to listen.
Stay ahead of the curve and get the right information you need every day on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Take us wherever you go with our mobile app on Alexa or through TuneIn, iHeart, or Odyssey.com. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Portions of this hour's programming may be pre-recorded. Sweep the League, sponsored by Sweep the League Radio on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
I'm back in my bag, they stealing my swag, but this the original flow. If I see a op, then I'm peeling this boat. Go fall for that lane, pour a pint on this toe. Now who want the smoke?
So in order for TikTok to launch, I got to be a rapper, right? No, do I got to be a gangsta rapper? Or how do we say that stuff? How do you kids say that? I don't know. I'll figure it out somehow. Shemai dropping all this stuff on me here. Derek Gervin, Shemai on the beats, Rudy Campos Jr. We've got Studio 2. Actually, Galler's asleep in Studio 2. We're going to have to go wake him up in a minute. And, of course, the one, the only, the guy that only gets the intro music. I don't know how he gets intro music, but he does get intro music every single week. The Rock himself. Now, we had Roland on the phone. He's still on the phone. We're going to get to his question here. Super League Radio, 9:30 a.m. The Answer, United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, What's on Second, all part of the ASAP network. Give us a call on the Project Spurs hotline, 210-308-8867. Joey Boteo is in studio. He's actually listening to how bad we are on the radio. So he's going to let us know how bad we are coming up in the second half of the hour here with our local artist spotlight. All right, Roland, you wanted us to rank the AFC quarterbacks because the AFC is loaded. Now, I'm going to excuse myself from the rankings and let you torture these guys on their rankings because I don't want to give up my championship belt that I've got on the football talk over here. But let's get the rankings here before I ask you, Roland, who you have as the top 5. Let's go. Any, mini, miny, mo. You know what, Rocky? The only one with intro music. You go first. Who do you have as your top 5?
All right, so it's Mahomes.
Wrong, but go ahead.
Allen.
Definitely wrong. Go ahead.
Burrow.
Maybe.
Herbert.
Yes.
And Lamar. Just because talent-wise, Lamar's still up there, but he can't throw, so he could go lower.
So why do you have Lamar? We can't throw.
Well, who's better than Lamar in the AFC? That's the thing. Are you going to tell me Tannehill?
All right, Rudy, hold on. Let's let Derek say his, then you can rebuttal.
Well, I mean, I have Lamar actually number 5 as well, but I have number 1, of course. Now I have for me is I have to go Josh Allen.
Bingo.
And I have to go Mahomes second.
Bingo.
I would have to go Herbert third.
Ooh. Wait a minute.
I would go Burrow fourth, and I would go Lamar because I still don't believe he can throw in the tight windows. So to me, that you make the Ravens a running team, you got a chance of beating them. I mean, if you can make them a passing team, I'm sorry.
All right. So Studio 2, do y'all have a ranking? I gave y'all that homework. I'm sure you didn't do it.
No? AFC, America's Funniest Comedians?
Yeah,
Is that what we're
didn't.
going?
No, we're
I
not
don't
doing
know
that.
what's going
We're
on.
not doing that. All right, Roland.
Derek, you wouldn't think Joe Burrow at number 3 just because of what he's been doing?
Well,
2 seasons
I don't
in.
think he's doing it alone, though. I mean, he's got a lot of.
Well, he got an offensive
pieces.
line.
Yeah, so he's got. It's not like he's just doing it alone. I just think Herbert can raise a team. Herbert is a very talented guy. He can throw the ball, and I just think that for me, he reminds me of a young Dan Marino, the type guy. So I would say for me, I will give a slight edge to Herbert.
All right, Roland, you're on the line. Educate these guys on top 5 quarterbacks in the AFC.
Oh, man, I think I got a solid argument for every one that I have. So, number 1, 100%, I'm going to go Mahomes. I mean, the man has a Super Bowl ring to prove it. You know, he's got a team around him of stars. That's a given. I'm going to say Mahomes first. Second, Josh Allen stated his case last week. You know, I mean, it was sad. Josh Allen lost the coin toss. He didn't lose the game. You know what I mean? But I will say he has an insanely good arm. He can literally make every throw on the field. And the number 3 guy that I have to do the same, which is Justin Herbert. He can throw from hash to hash. There's really nothing else that he can't do. I would say give him a better offensive line as well as like more weapons, maybe a good tight end. And I think he really elevates his game. Fourth, I have Lamar just because he has to keep a defense honest. They don't know if he's going to run or if he's going to pass. So give me him at 4. And then 5th, I think just based off, you know, he's in his sophomore season, but Joe Burrow right now looks like he's that guy. And like I said, the AFC was really just interesting for me just because they have, you know, I mean, Trevor Lawrence really didn't have a team around him, so I can't put anything against him. But Mac Jones, like is he a product of the system that he's in, or is he a good quarterback? Like, that's still up for question. But, you know, it was just fun to kind of see y'all's opinions on that and kind of put my own in there. So appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
Good
Roland.
analysis, my man.
That is
Wow.
perfect analysis.
Yeah.
Thank you for the phone call, Roland. I'm going to throw one guy out there. Now, I'm not saying he's a top 5, but you can easily build, especially in this draft, a team for Zach Wilson. I mean, he did have a pretty good rookie campaign. Not saying taking anything away from Mac Jones in the AFC, but for Zach Wilson, he can play.
Yeah.
He just got to put a couple of pieces, which they can do this draft and offseason for him. So can Zach Wilson be a top 5 QB maybe in a year or 2?
Potentially, I think
No.
potentially he can be, but you just said he has to have the right pieces around it.
He does have the right pieces around him, but it's the Jets.
Don't give me that crap
it's
about the Jets.
When's
Don't
the
give me that crap
The
about
last
the
good
Jets.
quarterback they had, who was it? Chad Pennington?
The last good quarterback?
Chad Pennington.
Chad Pennington? You gonna say Mark Sanchez was good?
No.
I mean,
Mr. Butt fumble. No, Brett. Well,
I mean,
it's been a while.
was there.
It's been a while.
I mean, Rex Ryan did lead those teams, but Mark Sanchez wasn't the reason why they were going to. It was that Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan did lead the league in feet pictures as well. I mean, if y'all remember that video. So, all right. Well, Zach Wilson was my, I guess, outside shot along with Mac Jones. I mean, obviously, Roland asked it about Mac Jones. Is it a quarterback system there?
Yeah, that's the question with him with New England. Is that the system with Belichick? Is that the right system for him?
I think it's perfect for him.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
so would they put players around him to make? Because we don't looking at the way they finished the year. They started off really strong, and then they kind of tailed off. Do they need how many pieces do they need around him offensively? What are they missing offensively?
They need some more offense help.
Well, Calvin Ridley, this is from what I was hearing in the offseason. He's obviously going to leave the Falcons. Everybody wants to leave the Falcons. I even want to leave the Falcons because I would like to find a new team. But no, I'm going to stick with the Dirty Birds left and right here. But Ridley's being rumored to be at the top of the Patriots list. So adding Ridley to the Patriots with Mac Jones, they've got a decent running game already. I mean, you can't really default them on that. Their offensive line is steady. It's good. It'll get it done. Adding a Ridley there to go along with the with an Aguilar, as well. I mean, you can put some pieces there. I just don't know. If you look at Mac Jones and you look at Zach Wilson, you're going to say yes, because of coaching, Mac Jones has the advantage. But the future of the QB position between those two, I still give the edge to Zach Wilson. Mobility.
I agree. That's a tough one.
But then you also have to bring up the fact that they lost Josh McDaniels today.
They did.
And so was he one of the reasons why Brady had so much success? A lot of people believe that. Does Belichick going to continue that
But
success?
there was a time McDaniels was in Denver.
That is true.
I mean, so really, it's more of a Belichick type thing. But then Brady went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl. So was it Brady? It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? We can't really debate the Brady-Belichick.
You have to have Pop and you have to have Tim Duncan. So it's the same. Both of them were and they both were valuable, very valuable. They led each other to the top prize.
But Bill can take the Patriots as they can be a playoff team.
They overachieved.
As Pop,
I think they overachieved this year, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, I think so. But then you're talking about, well, Pop needs Duncan to do this. Belichick needs Brady to do this. But Bill is still keeping the Patriots as, I can't say contenders, but playoff contenders.
But you remember Brady needed Bill as well, right? Because Brady was raw coming into the game. He had to learn the way the game works as well. And what better guy to have to show him to lead the way than Bill Belichick?
Thinking about Mac Jones and the night he was drafted, and then if y'all go back to his draft profile photos, you think Galler has the same body if we ask him to get, down to the shorts like Mac Jones? I think Galler's got the Mac Jones body, right? You got to lay off the McDonald's, Galler. That way you can be a little bit more, studly than Mac Jones there.
But yeah, you want me to go eat Burger Boy.
You need to go eat Burger Boy.
Catch
And that
22?
was the transition we're making because we're giving away Burger Boy. That's why I brought that up, and I'm glad he brought that up. That wasn't even scripted. We're giving away Burger Boy. We're going to let you know tonight how you can get Burger Boy.
Can I win?
Gift cards. You cannot win. You cannot be an employee
this
of
is
the
an
show
outrage.
and win. You have to go pay for Burger Boy, just like me. I've got to go pay for Burger Boy. But we will be giving away Burger Boy. We'll let you know here later on the show. Hey, we've got Joey Botella in studio. Like I said, he's going to tell us how bad we're doing. We're going to get into that here. Super League Radio. We'll be back.
Man, I know he didn't hop out the porch, he was forced.
United Collision Care Center, official sponsor of Sweep the League, specializes in body paint, frame, and mechanical services from light cosmetic repairs to heavy collision hits, as well as fleet maintenance. All technicians are platinum certified by ICAR, the top training organization in the collision industry. Quality and customer service are what their business ethics are based on. Trust is the hardest thing to build and the easiest thing to lose. So let's build a mutual relationship that starts with trust and a peace of mind. Contact Lewis and his staff today, 210-595-6413, or visit them at 6575 Pratt Road.
Hey guys, you listen to Sweep the League. Hey man, give us a follow on Twitter. We want to hear what your hot takes are today. Hey, follow Rudy at Sweep the League, myself at Rox Jr., Derek at Derek_Dervin, Galler at Official Mr. 300, Stats at Mark TH33MC, and most importantly, our producer at Shemaya on the BT.
Hey, sports fans, trading cards is all the hype and it's absolute fire now. Where do you get the best sports cards in town? What's on second? Over on 4177 Nacville Parent Boulevard. Give them a call, 210-590-8444. They have everything you need. Sports cards, basketball, baseball, football, Pokemon cards, sports memorabilia, whatever you want, they've got over at What's on Second. And pick up the phone. Call us on the Project Spurs hotline, 210-308-8867. You've been listening to Sweep the League on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Don't turn that dial. Hey guys, it's Sweep the League. You've been listening to Sweep the League. Be sure to follow us on all of our Twitters at Shemaya on the BT, at Sweep the League is myself. Why not go follow Chris Galler at Official Mr. 300, or head over to the website, www.sweeptheleague.com. Again, Sweep the League Radio.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Hey, the passion was there, but now it's far too gone. All this time I thought you were the one. We can fight and fight until we see the sun.
Joey Boteo's in studio. He'll be coming up in this next segment. We got to get through this segment right here. Sweep the League Radio, 9:30 a.m. The Answer. United Collision Care Center, #1 body shop in town, proud sponsors of Sweep the League Radio. Hey guys, we know accidents happen. It's very stressful. Take the stress off your shoulders. Give it to these guys over at United Collision Care Center. Luis and his staff of certified technicians. Their main job is to get you back on the road in no time, and customer service is their #1 priority. Contact United Collision Care Center, proud sponsor of Sweep the League. They will get you back on the road in no time. 210-595-6413, or head over to UnitedCollisionTexas.com. Project Spurs. Hey, Spurs, man. They're last I checked, they were winning at halftime against the Suns. You need all the updates on Spurs, whether it be San Antonio Spurs, Austin Spurs. Michael and his staff over at Project Spurs have you covered. Updated prospects, updated news, info, standings, everything, player analysis, whatever you need. Project Spurs is the #1 source and place to get it for your San Antonio Spurs. Search Project Spurs across all social media platforms. What's on second? I'm telling you, every single week, what's on second? Derek Irvin has rookie cards out there. Go get them. He will autograph them. They will go from $20 all the way up to $2 million. I guarantee it, because that's how his autograph is like priceless right there. You want my rookie card? Rock's got a rookie card. We got a Rock rookie card out there. We'll sign autographs for you every time we see us. If you can find my rookie card, I'll give you free. I'll give you free Burger Boy, because that's for sure right there. What's on second? Hey, Joe Burrow had a great day today. He's on his way to Super Bowl. Joe Burrow rookie cards going upwards between $25K right now, guys. I mean, it's unreal. Head over to What's on Second. Get your sports card there. Sports cards, memorabilia. What's on second? 210-590-8444. Last but not least, ASAP Network. We are part of the ASAP Network. All sports, all play. Follow them across social media platforms as well. All right. We've been talking football. We've been talking everything. We got to talk real quick. Spurs, Bulls. We had a person on Twitter, just Spurs fan, has been wanting us to talk Spurs, Bulls. DeMar came back home to his second home, San Antonio. Great tribute to him by the Spurs. You've got, it was such a great game. That's all I can say. It was a classic game. This type of game can be a game changer, a season changing type thing. We're seeing what they're doing with the Suns. If they pull out the win versus the Suns, minus some of the players they are, you've got a nice little thing going, Derek. Is this something that can change the landscape of a season if you're beating two of the top teams in the league?
Oh, boy. I don't think it's going to change the landscape. I think that right now the Spurs are in a good groove, but we know sometimes you win a couple games and then you struggle a little bit. So I'm hoping they can, get on a 4, 5, 6 game run, but I mean, I'm gonna be realistic. They've been an up and down team all season. This game is not even over, so I'm going to continue to support them. But I don't know if we're looking at the change in the season. I still see us as a mid-tier team, and I don't see that changing anytime soon this season.
So Vicky Vix, who's a part of Project Spurs, you can actually follow her. It's at the Vicky Vix. Her tweet on Twitter was, yes, I know this win means a lot to the young Spurs. They looked up to DeMar as a mentor and brother, so they must feel pretty great about this win. Good for them. Justice Spurs said, now this is a game that merits some good discussion. Now, definitely with DeMar being the veteran piece and one of the main veteran pieces for the Spurs years past, basically a couple of years ago and last year and stuff, these young guys looking up to him, having DeMar come back, and then even DeMar coming out with the quote. I don't know if you saw that quote saying that when he's able to catch games, he's watching the Spurs continuously right now. There is a lot of love between DeMar and this current Spurs players. I mean, this guy did everything he could for the Spurs, and everybody was rooting for him, when he came back to San Antonio Friday night. The team looking up to a player like DeMar, is there a player on this roster right now that you can easily say comes close to the type of leadership? Because, I mean, you have Jakob. Jakob's a great leader. DeJounte, I questioned whether DeJounte was a leader at the beginning of the year. He's definitely made me eat my words. Is there a DeMar type player right now on this team that the younger guys are looking at and say, you're a leader, you can lead us, you can be that guy to light that fire?
That torch has already been passed to DeJounte Murray. He's the leader. Everyone on the team knows it. He's the guy that he's one of the veterans. As funny as that may sound, because he's a young guy. But he seems to be able to reel the guys in. They listen to him. He's leading, and he's also leading by example. So the guy is playing. I mean, he's averaging 18 points, about 8 rebounds, and 9 assists, something like that.
Damn near triple double.
Yeah, he's been consistent all year. He is the guy with the ball in his hands most of the time. So I would say clearly to be DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, and you can tell he's playing on both ends. You mentioned those stats, and you would think, well, maybe he's just worrying about getting his numbers, getting his stats up. But no, you tell that he's moving the ball around, getting it done on both ends. That's only going to inspire the guys to do that. He had mentioned in a quote post game that it's not going to always storm, and that they have a lot of guys that are buying in. So eventually things are going to change, and we're going to look back and smile around it. You can just tell DeJounte's leading by example. And before the season, no one really knew who was going to be that leader, and now he's really shown it. But to say that, he's at the DeMar level, how DeMar was helping the Spurs, he might not be there yet, but he's on the way to it, at least.
He's a more vocal leader than DeMar. DeMar wasn't a very vocal guy. And DeJounte is learning as we progress, as he gets older. He's learning what Papa expects. He's that coach on the floor, and it's vital that the point guard be able to communicate with the players. So I've seen him mature a lot.
Plus, you also have other leadership on the team right now. I mean, you can consider Derek as a leader. You've got guys like Doug McDermott. I mean, he's been in the league for a while. He can definitely be a good locker room guy there. So, yeah, DeMar brought the Spurs basically suffered through the Kawhi, years and whatever happened during that summer. We would love to get the 30 for 30 on that, 30 for Kawhi, because we would never know what happened behind the scenes and all that stuff. But to move on from Kawhi and to get a player like DeMar, I think was an absolute blessing for the Spurs fans and actually the Spurs organization as well, because it helped everybody forget about the whole Kawhi debacle. You're seeing players starting to emerge. You're seeing the emergence of DeJounte. You're seeing the emergence of Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson. A lot of these guys are starting to emerge, come out of their shell, and become the players that we all were hoping that they would become. So I think a lot of credit does go to DeMar for changing the culture, the atmosphere here in San Antonio, from being so negative to Kawhi to just being positive again.
But I wish he would have got some more love. DeMar would have got a little more love when he was here. I know the fans seem now to appreciate what they've missed. They can see he's having an outstanding year. I always thought that him and LaMarcus Aldridge, they were doing what they were told. They were in the system that they were put in by Pop, and I don't think they got the recognition that they deserve. So I'm glad to see both of them doing well now.
Yeah, he deserves a lot. Another guy that came back recently was Patty Mills, as well as LaMarcus Aldridge. Spurs fans remember Patty Mills tremendously. I mean, great runs with the Spurs as well. I mean, he won titles with the San Antonio Spurs team. LaMarcus Aldridge, another one. You know, I know LaMarcus didn't have, brilliant San Antonio career, but I mean, again, everything that he did for the Spurs, he was still a consistent player, consistent scorer for the team. We've had some great guys come through the organization, and I'm just glad that a guy like DeMar did get a chance to play here, showed him a lot of love.
Yeah.
And we got to continue that. He's having a great season in Chicago, and he's an all-star starter. Something that a lot of people are confused about is this darn all-star voting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've made it clear. I said Andrew Wiggins, and you looked at me like, well, who are you going to pick? Well,
it's going to be interesting.
Is there anybody else besides Andrew Wiggins, or are we just settling on Andrew Wiggins?
I think there would have been if Paul George had not gotten injured or Draymond. But there was people saying that the reason Andrew Wiggins won that fan vote was because of a K-pop account. You have the K-pop army, and they got a lot of votes in. So that's why Andrew Wiggins was elevated towards fan voting.
So it goes back to
that and guys getting hurt.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Paul George, Kawhi. But this year, if you go by the year and the players that are currently playing, he's earned it. They're winning. He's stepped up in that third spot. Maybe still me right now. I'll say second spot because Clay's still getting his legs underneath him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that Wiggins has filled in well, and Poole has played it well, of course. But to me, that key cog after Steph, Clay, and Draymond is Andrew Wiggins. They're going to ride and die by how he plays, how far he can stay consistent and help lead them as we go down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So I posed this question to you guys before we go to commercial break here. Do you eliminate fan voting? I know the All-Star game is for the fans.
Why does
That's
it have to
obvious.
be 50% though?
Yeah.
That
It
part I
shouldn't-
don't
yeah.
agree with.
It shouldn't count for 50.
I won't say eliminate, no. But
I think you decrease it, and you also get rid of the positions, because I think you referenced earlier before we started the show is why is there positions wise? You do have guards and forwards, but it's positionless basketball. The one example I can think of is Luka. Is Luka a forward or is he a guard?
have you guys thought about why they might not do that? That's an ego thing. Can you imagine how some of those players will feel? You got superstars and you got an all-guard lineup out of
Mhm.
5 players. None of the big guys, because of popularity, Steph and all of those guys take up these spots at the guard. Luka, Harden. I mean, we can go on and on. Ja Morant. And then you got your star, your big guys coming off the bench. I don't think all the guys will be okay with that.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. I mean, it really is crazy. And I know fan voting is, it's everything. I mean, you vote for your favorite players, but all in all, it's a popularity contest.
That's what it is.
That's all it is. Popularity contest. I mean, I wish I could get votes like that. I know I won't be able to get but 2 or 3 votes, and that's probably from, the
DeJounte
family.
Murray, all you coaches out there, come on now. Get a man a shot. Pick him. He deserves to be picked. He deserves an all-star spot.
Yeah, music spotlight, local artist music spotlight coming up after this break. Joey Buteo in studio. We'll be back.
I'll vote for you, Rudy.
Yeah, right.
Don't let the stress of getting into an accident keep you down. Contact United Collision Care Center, where Lewis and his certified technicians will get you back on the road in no time. They're a 5-star company with over 270 reviews on CarWise.com. Quality and customer service are what separate them from the rest, making them the best. Specializing in body paint, frame, and mechanical services, from light cosmetic repairs to heavy collision hits, United Collision Care Center does it all. Contact them today at 210-595-6413 or visit their shop at 6575 Pratt Road. Again, that's United Collision Care Center, the best in the business and official sponsor of Sweep the League.
Hey guys, you listen to Sweep the League. Hey man, give us a follow on Twitter. We want to hear what your hot takes are today. Hey, follow Rudy at Sweep the League, myself at Rox Jr., Derek at Derek_Dervin, Galler at Official Mr. 300, Stats at Mark TH33MC, and most importantly, our producer at Shemaya on the BT.
Two Shots Podcast is a fun-filled extravaganza bringing you into the world of sports and entertainment. Joe Garcia and the staff keep you updated on Spurs, combat sports, Dallas Cowboys, and my favorite, everything in Nerdville like Marvel and DC. Head to the line for Two Shots, as in Two Shots Podcast, available across all streaming platforms. No sport is bigger than football here in the Lone Star State. High school football is king on Friday nights, so listening to Along the Wire with B. Damone is a must. Brandon brings you all the latest news and notes, as well as rankings for our local high school football teams here in San Antonio. Cue up the band, get comfortable in your bleacher seat, and tune in for the best high school coverage around with Along the Wire.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. North Korea says it has test-launched an intermediate-range ballistic missile capable of reaching Guam. It is the North's most significant weapon launch in several years. The official Korean Central News Agency says the test of the missile was aimed at, quote, evaluation and verifying its overall accuracy. United States Ambassador to the UN vowing the Security Council tomorrow will press Russia very hard to discuss the Kremlin's massing of troops near Ukraine amid rising fears that Moscow is planning a invasion. Officials say Iraqi airstrikes have killed 9 Islamic State fighters in retaliation for an attack on Iraqi army barracks earlier this month. In that incident, 12 soldiers were murdered. This is SRN News.
Hi, Larry Elder from my friends at John Wayne Service Company. Here's Don Wackler, the owner of John Wayne Service Company.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority.
When you need help with your AC, call the company I trust and recommend in the area, John Wayne Service Company. The most trusted name in home services with an A+ rating with the BBB and over 15,000 5-star reviews.
Right now, get a complete new AC system with affordable payments as low as $69 a month or 0% interest for 60 months. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
Only from John Wayne Service Company. Call 210-293-6700 or go to johnwayne.com. John Wayne Service Company, your local home experts.
License number 1785C.
You may not believe it, but the best of both worlds is indeed possible when it comes to your retirement nest egg. On the one hand, you want to enjoy positive market returns. And on the other hand, you never want to lose money. You also would like a secure, safe place to put your retirement nest egg that will give you a decent return. Well, guess what? I'm Dennis Prager, and I'm here to tell you that you can get the best of both worlds from Robin Hoppus at Big State Financial. I have a question for you. When it comes to retirement, will you outlive your money? Robin can ensure your retirement so that you will have a predictable income, an income that you can never outlive. You'll enjoy some of the gains in the market and never lose. Call Robin today and find out how you can have a guaranteed lifetime income. For a free, no-obligation retirement review, call Robin today at 210-373-6000. That's 210-373-6000. Or go to her website, bigstatefinancial.com. Enjoying positive market returns and never losing money? That's the best of both worlds. Call Robin today.
9:30 a.m. The Answer.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
I die before I let you get me in my feelings. Yeah. You always aiming to
Great music. Great music. Shemai knows what he's doing here. Sweep the League Radio, 9:30 a.m. The Answer. United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, What's on Second, ASAP Network, all proud sponsors of Sweep the League Radio. Derek Gervin, Shemaya on the beats, Rudy Campos Jr. in the Beetlejuice outfit, because that's the only suit I own right now. And I had to come dressed up like Joey B did earlier with the Bengals. Had to bring it. Studio 2 getting the extra guy in there. And of course, like we've always said from day one, the guy that gets the only theme music in radio right now. I'm going to have to change that. I got to get some theme music.
I don't think he deserves it when he's back here with us.
Yeah, because he's got to put up with you guys.
Yeah, but that's fine. He shouldn't get it.
Wait a minute. No.
I like Studio 2, though. You know, they treat me a little bit nicer back here.
How in the hell are you? Why do you say that?
I think Derek's the nicest one in Studio 1. Him and, or no, I do. It's a
you already said it. You didn't even involve Shemaya. You didn't even involve the guy that controls the mics. That is sad. He can cut up. Apparently, he cut it off. He cut off and looks like Studio 2's freezing on the live stream. We are live across Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Real quick, guys, we're going to give away some Burger Boy here in a little bit. We're going to let you know how you can get Burger Boy. Everybody loves Burger Boy, but we've got our local artist spotlight right now. Everybody, guys, let's welcome Joey Boteo to Sweep the League Radio.
Yeah.
Joey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am good, man. I'm good. We're not going to make this hard. Don't worry. We're not going to ask you the tough questions. I know you during the commercial break you told Rocky that we're doing a terrible job, but we're going to try to make this a good couple of segments here, man. Local music artists. Give us a little bit of background. Give everybody the background you want on us. How did you get into it? Everything like that.
Yes, sir. So let's see. Well, I'm from San Antonio. I was born in Corpus Christi, though.
Okay.
And I grew up with a family that was just playing Tejano, country, and that day's pop or whatever.
All right. Okay.
So I was inspired by a wide variety of genres. I also grew up in a family that, I grew up in a little town, or not really, but like Robstown, Texas. I don't know.
Yeah, I know Robstown. Yeah.
So there's not much to do there.
Mm-hmm.
So every weekend, my parents, they would get some drinks together. My uncle and my dad would just swap, singing songs on the guitar, and that would be the weekend. So music has always been like a huge part of my life, whether it's, a family member or whatever. And my parents always kind of pushed me to like do music in band or whatever in middle school and stuff. But I don't know. I would say middle school, I started getting into like actually recording music.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone that was doing it, unfortunately. So I had to just utilize YouTube, which is where I basically taught myself how to do everything I know. I taught myself how to play guitar through YouTube. I taught myself everything I know about recording and producing music, and even singing through YouTube. So
self-taught.
Self-taught.
Everything is self-taught.
Yes, sir.
So and you're friends with Rocky.
Yes, sir.
We know that for a fact. So can Rocky teach himself to do stuff on YouTube? He needs a lot. He has a lot.
Rocky could do anything he sets his mind to.
You hear that, Rock?
What a guy, man. What a guy.
You hear that?
So
That's not what he was saying when he was in here with us. I mean,
it's different when you're on air, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to play the nice guy, John. You don't have to play the nice guy at all. We give Rock a hard time. So inspirations growing up. I mean, you've got to have people that you follow. These guys, actually, I think, was it a week ago? Y'all were giving me crap because I don't know who. I just found out who The Weeknd was.
Oh, God. Don't tell that to Joey. Joey's gonna be so upset with you.
No, that's actually currently my favorite artist.
Well, now mine too.
He's great, right? I mean, what about Bad Bunny?
Who did I say my favorite artist was?
You?
Weekend. I already
The
told you last
Weeknd.
week.
I love Bad Bunny too. He's coming in the fall.
That's what we're gonna get into Bad Bunny later.
No, growing up, I think I just listened to so much music. I mean, like I said, there was so much stuff just playing in the house and playing on the radio. I mean, I grew up listening to like the first CD I remember like owning, like that my mom bought me, was Usher's Confessions. When I first got my CD player,
nice.
I think I was like 2 years old. They took me to a George Strait concert. I think they had the steel guitar player sign my little cowboy hat that I was wearing,
and you said CDs for all you kids out there. CDs back in the day.
Yeah.
Now,
CDs.
See, Derek remembers this, but I was young enough to remember 8-track.
8-track.
You know, those are the cassette tapes are coming back. Some artists
Really?
like The Weeknd, are actually putting out their singles and albums on cassettes, which is
Nice.
interesting.
Well, I know vinyl. made a return.
Vinyl. Yeah, vinyl had a huge comeback.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is
hey,
The
Rudy, I
Weeknd
don't
on
mean to
vinyl?
cut you off, Rudy, but
I
the game's
saw
final.
your. I didn't want you to tell me because I was perfect up until this game right here, but
I mean, there's still 9 seconds left, so you could be good.
no, according to
What's it at? What's the score?
It's
over,
2017.
20-17.
It's over. The Rams are going to the
Oh.
Super Bowl. It'll be a Rams Bengals Super Bowl.
Well, at least Gio will be happy.
Yes, Gio, the Rambassador, one of the founders of Sweep the League, is very happy right now. But I don't want to dwell on that because now I'm 50-50. So I don't lose the belt though. The belt stays with me.
I
Basically,
went-
I'm disqualified.
I
as a
went
DQ.
2-0 today.
You did go 2-0. Yeah. I guess I owe you the belt then. Jesus. We're
I
gonna have
was-
to discuss that off air there, Derek.
I was so sad today because Pat Mahomes is my guy.
And that's what we're gonna get into now. Talking football. Galler says, you know, the Rams win, yada yada. Galler's a Rams fan. He hates the
What?
Cowboys
Where
now.
did you get that?
I got that from your last comment. But
Okay.
we were talking music artists here, we were talking inspirations, but little known fact is that you went to school with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, so yes, but I went to Texas Tech University.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess you could say like a bunch of people went to school. But there was one time though, because I don't know if you know about Texas Tech, but that's a hardcore party school.
Yes.
And I enjoyed my time there. I'll just leave it at that. So I mean, we would be getting lit on a Monday or a Tuesday.
Are we allowed to
What-
ask about these crazy parties, Shamara? Or we already had one dumb button in the use already. Dude.
There was a time though when we were just going down there, by the university. There's like a strip of just like restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
I swear, like I walked in there and he was just there, Pat Mahomes, and you know it was nothing big, just simple fist bump, and you know we went to all the games. He was like in his bag that year. That was when Cliff Kingsbury was there.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that was an incredible experience. I never experienced college football, so that was like my first kind of experience.
Mhm.
You know, in a big stadium. They have so many traditions there, like the tortillas that they throw on the field and all that stuff. And,
Yes, I've heard some people that went. Well, they're big Tech fans. They went there and they always talk about that.
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. And Pat Mahomes just made the games really special and really memorable, really exciting. So ever since then, you know, he went to the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, I've just been keeping up with him. I actually got because I collect cards and stuff. It's funny.
Really?
You keep mentioning what's on second. I've been meaning to go there actually. But I
Yeah.
collect cards. I just got a Pat Mahomes #1 card not too long ago.
Really?
So yeah, I got that all sleeved up and everything. And
I have and you know, you probably people wouldn't believe me, but I do have somebody in studio that does remember this day. I have a very terrible, very sad. Shemaya, can you cue the sad music, please? Because I have a very sad sports card story here.
oh no.
So basically, I was working a card show. I bought a box of NBA Prism, and I pulled a Luka Doncic rookie autograph,
Oh no.
gold parallel, numbered to 10.
You didn't go far enough back to make it a sad story.
Well, no, this is where it gets sad. I pulled the card, went into getting graded 9.5 with a 10 auto. I sold that card a week later for $7,500.
Oh my god.
The music got louder because that same card
Yeah.
a year later sold for $35K.
That's an L.
That is a major
big
L.
L.
That's
on
a
you.
big L.
But what happened just before you bought that box? You
This is
came
the
up
cool
to
part.
me.
This is the cool part. I'm gonna tell this part.
All right.
This is the cool part. I told Galler, hey, do you want to go half on a box with me? And you know, we'll see what we get.
I had just bought a box too.
He's like, no, I just bought a box. I'm good. All right, well, I'm gonna go buy one. I buy it, and I pull that Doncic card.
Oh.
So Galler is there crying. He's kicking himself, you know where. There's literally a hole in the wall from him hitting his head 50 times on that wall.
Now here's the real
That's
question
tough.
though: is he sad because you didn't get the 35? Was he happy because you didn't get the 35?
Probably.
And you only got the 75.
Were you happy that I didn't get 35K? Galler?
That's
No, I'm more upset that I didn't go. I'm more upset that I didn't go half with you on the box.
Crazy thing is I told you, if you want to go half, let me know. Even after the fact, even after I opened up the.
Well, hold on. We're gonna have to go back to the tape on that one.
All right,
'cause
we'll
I
go
don't
back to the
remember
tape.
that.
Sweep to the radio. We'll be back. All you music heads out there, from punk to metal to indie, the Chuck Van Show plays the best in real local music from San Antonio and around Texas. Real new music you're not hearing anywhere else. Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on modsnapradio.com. It's the Chuck Van Show.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Mark the MC, and you are listening to Sweep the League Radio. Before we get back to the show, here's a message from I Am Refocused.
I'm focused, man. Focused.
IamRefocusedRadio.com are proud friends of Sweep the League Radio. With new interviews each week, we are looking for special guests. Do you have a story? Are you an athlete, music artist, business owner? Visit IamRefocusedRadio.com today and send us a message. Now, back to Sweep the League Radio.
Spurs season isn't just 82 games, but year-round. That's why you need to make sure you have the best coverage around at all times. Project Spurs provides you with the most in-depth Spurs coverage all day, every day. Articles, analysis, and live game coverage provided by some of the best journalists in the business. Need more? Listen to the Spurs Cast with Paul Garcia for even more Spurs-related news and notes. Visit ProjectSpurs.com for all the latest Spurs information, or follow them on social media. Twitter is at Project Spurs, or just search for Project Spurs on Facebook and Instagram. Project Spurs, dominating Spurs coverage and proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Hey guys, you listen to Sweep the League. Hey man, give us a follow on Twitter. We want to hear what your hot takes are today. Hey, follow Rudy at Sweep the League, myself at Rox Jr., Derek at Derek_Dervin, Galler at Official Mr. 300, Stats at Mark TH33MC, and most importantly, our producer at Shemaya on the BT.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
No comparison, we more solid than they are. Me and Hit Boy, they say we like the new Gangstar. Me and Flacco, they say we the new wave.
Sweep the League Radio, 9:30 a.m. The Answer, United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, What's on Second, all a part of the ASAP network. All sports, all play. We were talking about sports cards before we went to commercial break, and Galler is still trying to give me $100 for that Luka Doncic card so he can get half of 7,500.
Why would I be lying to people?
I'm not lying. I don't lie all the time. Maybe once or twice an hour I lie. I'm taking that back. We have Joey Boteo with us right now, local artist here. And we were talking sports cards. We got his background, his inspirations, everything like that. Joey, I've got a question for you real quick here. These guys give me crap all the time. But I don't know. I've never heard of Bad Bunny up until last night, actually. In the Royal Rumble, WWE Royal Rumble last night, he was a participant.
Yeah.
So Bad Bunny, I don't want to hear from Studio 2 right now because they're going to just drop F-bombs, which you had already in the show earlier. They're going to give me all this crap. Bad Bunny, how big of a star is he? I'm 70 years old, so you got to forgive me. How big of a star is Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny's huge.
Really?
I mean, this dude transcends like language. I mean, his music he's like the Drake of like Mexico, I would say. Right? I mean, that's pretty.
Drake. See, I know who Drake is.
That's big time. That's big. That doesn't get much bigger.
That's huge. I mean, of like Spanish speaking music, because I don't think he's like from Mexico, but I think he's from Puerto Rico actually. But his songs, if you go to any bar, you'll hear a Bad Bunny song.
Mm-hmm.
Go to any dance club, you'll hear a Bad Bunny song. If you are helping your mom clean in the morning, a Bad Bunny song is going to be playing. He's on every major Spotify playlist, everywhere. I mean, his songs are dope. And not only that, he's a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah,
he was actually in WrestleMania. I believe it was last year, the year before.
See, Joe Garcia wants to know, what is a Bad Bunny? What is a Bad Bunny? There's got to be some kind.
That's tough. Y'all need to go listen to him right now. He is, like I said, he's a huge wrestling fan, and he put in the work.
I saw last night
to learn like some moves and some Rey Mysterio type moves, and he's been taking some crazy bumps too. So, I mean, he loves it, and he's fun to watch, honestly too.
That was cool. It was cool, and like I said, I've never heard. I heard Bad Bunny was coming to San Antonio, so I immediately tweeted out to all these guys, who in the hell and what is a Bad Bunny? I don't have any idea what that is. Then I see him at not WrestleMania, but at Royal Rumble last night, and I'm like, okay, so that's a Bad Bunny, but I still don't know how big Bad Bunny is. Derek's a huge Weeknd fan. I mean, I'm a fan of the Weeknd. Who doesn't love Saturday and Sunday, right? I love the Weeknd.
I told you that man bought a $70 million house.
Really?
$70 million.
Wow.
Yeah. What the hell are you do with a $70 million house?
Look it up and look at that house. Yeah.
What are you gonna? Who needs a $70 million house?
Man, we look at some of these houses.
He does, I guess.
Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. I mean, when you have that kind of money, I mean, you'd be amazed at some of these houses. Oprah, all these people. I mean,
Yeah.
that they live in. It's amazing.
Well, okay, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna take y'all's word for it when y'all say Bad Bunny's a major star, because like I said, when I heard Bunny, I thought Bugs. You know, I thought the Easter. I thought all that kind of stuff. I had no idea how big of a music star is. That's what makes this show different. Is you've got an old man sitting right here or standing right here, doesn't know much about the hip thing and the kids thing and all that. I mean, I find out who Bad Bunny is. I find out The Weeknd is. Who else do I need to listen to? I'm gonna ask Joey, because you're the music guy here. Who else do I need to listen to? Give me an artist.
Sounds like Drake.
I mean, Drake. Do you listen to Drake?
I heard a Sprite song.
Oh, no.
How old is that, kids?
Like from 2008.
There you go. I heard it from 2008.
No, just Drake. Just that's your homework. Just Bad Bunny, The Weeknd, and Drake.
He was in a song that I do remember. You're probably gonna laugh at me on this. Wasn't there a song called Bedrock?
Yes, by Young Money.
He was in that, wasn't he? I saw the video.
It was like a group.
It was. There you go. See, I am a small part of the hip kids now, the cool kids and all that.
That's funny.
What? Leave me alone, Rock. I'm
Drake get to date all the beautiful women.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean Drake. Yeah.
Hey Rudy,
he gets all the girls.
Joey has many talents and many hobbies and aspirations, but one thing he forgot to mention is he's a big boxing enthusiast.
Boxing,
and I know Derek's a big boxing guy.
Very much so.
So I want to know, who's your favorite boxer, Joey?
Of all time, or right now? Oh, Canelo Alvarez.
Cannot go wrong with Canelo.
No, I think he's the most. Most skilled, most technically skilled, most exciting. You have guys like Floyd Mayweather that sometimes I'd watch his fights, I'd get bored. I mean, he's a great technical boxer, but is he exciting? Not really, honestly.
No.
Especially when you watch his fights like with Manny Pacquiao. You know, there were a couple of times when the Pac-Man almost knocked him down, but you know, Floyd was kind of just running a little bit. Of all time, I'd have to say probably Mike Tyson. I know that's kind of like a cop-out, but I also have some favorites, like some obscure favorites. Like I really like this guy. I don't like him personally because he did some bad stuff, but Edwin Valero. I don't know if you know who that is.
I know who he is. I'm a boxing guy.
He had a great career.
Really hard puncher.
Yeah, really hard, really fast puncher. You know, unfortunately, he had some things in his personal life that prevented him from, you know, reaching that level. But he was a great boxer, and also Tommy Morrison. There's another one.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Rest in peace. He was in, you know, Rocky V. You know, that's where he got super famous. But I mean, his boxing career is like, I mean, he was great. I mean, there was this one fight that was probably the most devastating knockout I've seen in boxing history with Ray Mercer.
Yeah.
Where
Boom, boom.
they didn't stop the fight, and he just got beat. And unfortunately, honestly, from there, his career kind of took a downward spiral. But
a brutal fight, though. Yeah.
Brutal fight.
Yeah, I agree.
But honestly, some of the, like, I grew up watching, like, that was another thing that my family did. We grew up and they were like, oh, who's fighting this week? It was all, you know, it was like Tyson, you know, Roy Jones Jr., Oscar De La Hoya.
My guy, Pernell. I used to go watch Pernell train at Jesse James. Well, now Jesse James Lehigh.
Jesse James Lehigh.
Was like boxing for me, because y'all are mentioning all these guys, and around that time was my biggest boxing, you know, where I followed the most, because that for me, that was the De La Hoyas. It was Fernando Vargas. I mean, you've got all these guys that were coming up. One of my favorites of all time was Trinidad.
What about Jesse James Lehigh?
Lehigh's another one.
Yeah, he's good
Local
too.
favorite. You know, I followed Trinidad a lot. I love Trinidad, but I also grew up, you know, with my dad. He was watching everything Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, one of the greatest of all times. I mean, even the guys like Hector Macho Camacho, and you know, then we would go back to, you know, No Mas with Duran and Leonard. I mean, boxing was great back then. Now, I don't seem to get into it as much. But if you've got one guy right now who's an up and coming guy, I actually like me some Devin Haney.
That's your up and coming guy.
That's my guy who I'm actually looking at too. But who do you like coming up right now in the ranks?
There's a kid. He's not really a kid. I mean, He looks like a kid, honestly. But Ryan Garcia
Yeah.
is he's like a featherweight, I think, or lightweight or something like that. And man, he has a mean body shot.
Left
And-
hook, yeah, to the body.
and he has gotten some insane knockouts. And he's honestly a really fun boxer to watch as well. But honestly, this newer generation of boxing, like to me, some of the greatest boxing matches of all time were Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward.
Oh yeah.
Their trilogy.
Yes, yes.
And to me, like today's boxing, I don't think will ever reach that level.
No.
Unfortunately, but like that's Ryan Garcia's fights are really, and then Canelo's fights with this dude Plant. That was a really fun fight, and they both put up a lot in that fight. It could have gone either way, but I'm really glad Canelo came up on top on that one.
Yeah, Derek, you want to get a couple of?
They have
shots in
too
here?
many divisions. I mean, too many belts.
Mhm.
First of all, but my fighter right now is Jerron Boots Ennis. Jerron
Hmm.
Boots Ennis. Man, they talking about him fighting Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford, and I think really if they were to fight at this point in their careers, I would have to give him a slight edge because he can do a little bit of everything. He's a natural. He can go either direction. He can southpaw or he can fight orthodox, and he's really good at it. I think better than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford gets touched up a lot when he fights in the left-handed style now, and the orthodox style. I'm sorry. So I would give Boots the slight. So that would be my guy, Jerron Boots Ennis.
Nice. All right. Well, it's already coming to an end. This show goes by really fast. We'd like to thank Joey Bethel for coming in.
No, thank y'all for
Appreciate
having
you
me.
being here. Before we go,
Yeah,
I
I
have
appreciate
you got 2 seconds here. We're gonna have a boxing match between me and Galler. You against Rocky. Who wins? You got a second. We got to get it in.
I'm gonna win that.
You're
Technically.
gonna win that, Rocky. You are a
We're going to
loser
the
on that
cards.
match.
Yeah, it's gonna be a decision, man.
We're gonna go to the cards on that one.
Okay, we'll go to the cards.
Knowing Joey, he's kind of sly, dog, so he might give me under the belt. But I have a little bit weight on him, so we'll see.
All right, guys. That's Sweep the League Radio. Derek Shamaya, Studio 2. Rudy Campos Jr. Thank you again, Joey, for coming
Everybody
in.
have a fantastic week.
Thanks.
See you next week, guys.